There is an ancient prejudice, a whisper that has circulated through society for centuries regarding people who love cats. They say that cat lovers are cold, that you are aloof, difficult, eccentric, or selfish. The logic goes that if you choose an animal that doesn't wag its tail to welcome you home, choosing it over the unconditional devotion of a dog, then surely your own heart must be just as icy. But let me tell you a psychological truth that is the exact opposite of that narrative. You don't love cats because you hate connection. You love cats because you respect a higher, rarer form of connection, consent-based connection. You aren't looking for a subservient creature to inflate your ego. You don't need a living being to worship you like a god just to feel valuable. You are looking for an equal, a friend who can say no to you, who can turn their back on you, and yet you love them completely. If you find peace in the gaze of a cat, this video is for you. We are going to decode why, for the most sensitive souls, cats are not just pets. They are the great teachers of boundaries, and they are mirrors reflecting the deepest, most authentic parts of your own soul. To understand why you chose a cat, we first have to look at the architecture of your nervous system. The vast majority of cat lovers fall into the category of the highly sensitive person, HSP, or the deep introvert. The outside world is often an assault on your senses. The traffic, the chaos, the social expectations, the meaningless small talk. It all drains your battery. Look at the energy of a dog. That is yang energy. It is extroverted, loud, and demands constant attention. A dog loves you, but it also needs you desperately. When you walk through the door after a brutal day, a dog jumps on you, demanding interaction, demanding play, demanding an immediate return on its emotional investment. For a nervous system that is already overwhelmed, that enthusiasm isn't always love. Sometimes it feels like work. Conversely, the cat represents yin energy, stillness, observation, autonomy. When you come home, a cat doesn't scream in your face. It allows you to breathe. Its presence is not a demand, it is an invitation. Scientists have discovered something fascinating. A cat's purr vibrates at a frequency between 20 Hz and 140 Hz. This is not a coincidence. In biomedicine, this range corresponds exactly with the frequencies used to heal bone density, reduce swelling, and most importantly, regulate the sympathetic nervous system. Cats are not just pets. They are biological Wi-Fi routers for calm. You love them because when you are with them, you don't have to perform. You don't have to pretend to be happy. You can sit in silence for hours, each of you pursuing your own world. A concept known as parallel play, yet still feel deeply connected. You find safety in their silence because deep down, your own soul is starving for that silence. But this psychological profile goes deeper. It touches on the wounds of your childhood, specifically the issue of boundaries. Many cat lovers grew up in environments where their personal boundaries were not respected. Perhaps you were a child in an enmeshed family where the bedroom door was never allowed to be closed. Maybe your diary was read, or perhaps your emotions were always dependent on the volatile emotions of a parent. You learned a distorted lesson. Love equals invasion. Love means you aren't allowed to have your own space. And then you met the cat. Cats are the grand masters of boundaries. If you pet them wrong, they bite. If you squeeze them too tight, they leave. If they don't want to be near you, absolutely nothing can force them. For an emotionally immature person, this behavior is a trigger. They feel rejected, insulted, or angry. They say, "This animal is ungrateful." But for you, someone on a journey of healing, this is a priceless therapeutic lesson. When you love a cat, you are practicing the hardest psychological exercise of all. Loving without possessing. You learn to accept their rejection without taking it as a personal insult. You learn the mantra, just because they don't want to be near me right now doesn't mean they hate me. They just need space, and I respect that. This is the concept of independent attachment. The cat is reteaching you how to build boundaries for yourself. By respecting the cat's right to say no, you subconsciously give yourself permission to say no to the world. You realize that, just like the cat, you deserve to be loved even if you aren't serving anyone, even if you want to be alone, even if you aren't being sweet in the way others expect. Let's talk about the nature of love and validation. A dog's love is often cited as unconditional love. That is a beautiful, comforting thing. But in behavioral psychology terms, it is also a source of cheap dopamine. You don't have to work hard for a dog to love you. You just have to exist. But the psychology of the cat person is more complex. You aren't interested in what is easy. You crave depth. The love of a cat is earned love. A cat does not give its heart to just anyone. It observes, it assesses, it tests you to see if you are safe, if you are patient, if you are subtle. If you are loud, aggressive, or volatile, a cat will never come near you. Therefore, the moment a cat chooses you, oh, that moment. When a cat voluntarily walks over and bunts its head against your leg, or exposes its belly to you, the ultimate sign of trust, as the belly is their most vulnerable point, that is one of the highest compliments a living being can pay you. It is a medal of honor. It says, I have watched this human, and I certify that their soul is peaceful enough for me to rest in. You love cats because they mirror your desire to be valued for who you actually are. Not because you are rich, not because you feed them. Stray cats will still leave you if the vibe is off. They choose you because of your energy frequency. For those who have struggled with self-worth, who have felt they weren't enough, the approval of a cat is a powerful healing agent. It confirms that you are good, you are safe, and you are worthy of trust. We cannot discuss the psychology of cats without mentioning Carl Jung and the concept of the shadow. While the dog represents the persona, the social mask of happiness, obedience, and the desire to please, the cat is the embodiment of the shadow. They are nocturnal hunters, they are mysterious, they are wild, and most importantly, they are the ultimate anti-people pleasers. In modern society, we are trained to be compliant, to smile when we are sad, to say yes when we want to scream no. We repress our wildness, our selfishness, and our truth just to be accepted. You love cats because you see in them the freedom you crave but haven't yet dared to claim. A cat never feels guilty for sleeping 16 hours a day. It never feels guilty for not wanting to play with you. It lives in total alignment with its instincts and emotions in every single moment. The cat is the spirit animal of authenticity. When you watch a cat, your unconscious mind is being inspired. It reminds you, you don't need to apologize for your existence. You don't need to constantly prove your value through exhaustion. Your existence in itself is already a work of art. Perhaps the deepest reason you love them is that they hold the key to your own shadow, the place where your creativity, your intuition, and your primal power have been hiding. So the next time someone calls you cold or weird because you prefer cats, just smile, because you know the truth. The fact that you can deeply love a creature that does not serve you, that does not need you for emotional validation, and that frequently turns its back on you, proves one thing. Your capacity for love is truly unconditional. You don't need submission to feel powerful. You don't need noise to feel alive. You are the gatekeeper of sensitive souls. You are the person who can find an entire universe in the slow blink of a feline eye. And in the silence between you and your small friend, there is a language of love that the loud world outside will simply never understand. Go hug your little friend and thank them for choosing you.